Crossover.
Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Hey, the crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Connor Happer.
Hi, hello, good morning, everyone.
How are you, man?
How are we doing?
I'm doing good.
Great. Excellent.
Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it.
Yesterday, I saw it was the tweet that had the schedule for the Players Era Championship, which is what I'm at right now.
Yeah.
But it had it, in the like time slot and network form, like it does for when the NCAA basketball tournament comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like, oh wow, is this the NCAA tournament? And then I looked around and I saw every coach and player that you could imagine, just walking around this hotel. And I thought, this is the NCAA tournament, but it's not. It's November. People forget that.
People do forget the months of the year. That is correct. Great observation, Happer.
I mean, that wasn't really my point, but like, you
killed me. You killed me.
What?
Big Red overreaction.
What did I do?
I kept playing the clip over and over again where you go, John, that's a great question. Is there a type of offense that doesn't exist yet that Nebraska can use with TJ Lateef?
Well, I mean, it was a great idea, but we have a lot of questions and we don't have a lot of answers. Can Nebraska go back to being the most innovative program in the country and find its way to creating a new offense out of thin air?
An entirely different thing that's never existed before.
And I appreciate people's, perspective on this, because I think most college football fans, when their team is struggling, they would say, well, you just got to get better players or like better coaches or like, just a variety of different stuff. We got to get tougher and more physical
all
and
the
things
cliches.
like that.
No.
Nebraska fans are like, actually, it's the offense. We have to make a new offense. The players are fine. Everything else is fine. The coaches are fine. I love it. We have to make a new offense.
We got to
get their edge back.
We got to go ahead and we got to get all of these. Screw a think tank. Nebraska football fans want a football tank. They want to take the greatest minds and they want to lock them in a room and they go, make us the offense. Make it happen. Brand new ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got it. And then the best part of that question, which was you were part being serious and you were part sarcastic in the only way that you can do it, in the only way that you seemingly can do it. John then proceeded to try and answer the question. He went on like a 3-minute rant and tried answering that. Can Nebraska make a brand new offense that's never even existed before that nobody has seen? And he
could be fun.
He tried to answer it. It was like when they asked one of the pageant girls in Miss America to solve ISIS, they were like,
Jordan?
No. This was a different girl.
Very funny clip.
They asked the girl, solve ISIS for us. Solve this at the Miss America pageant. And you know what? She had a great answer. She did a very good job of trying to solve it.
Well, like Miss America, John Bishop is really good at being a diplomat and talking his way through things, and so that's he's going to be sitting next to me here in a few moments. I think he's making his way over early.
That should be John's new nickname, Miss America.
Miss America, John Bishop. That is a great idea. I actually love that. Good bit.
Call him Miss America and see how he reacts.
Good morning, sunshine.
What's
Good
up,
morning,
sunshine?
Miss America.
What's up, Miss Mississippi? How are you?
What are you guys up to? Is the studio lonely? How's the weather? I gotta know what's going on in my hometown.
Rainy. It looks like Seattle.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we are Seattled today. Omaha got Seattled.
That's what they were telling me about what it was like here. And like I've been to Vegas for a lot of days in my life now, and I've never once seen it precipitate. But I got here yesterday and they were all like, oh yeah, rain. It's been raining for the last several days. I'm like, well, I guess I'm here to brighten everyone's day. It was raining during or before the F1 race.
Yeah. That was a great race.
I got to see the F1 zombies who were
They're still partying up.
No, man. I mean, like I got off the plane. I mean, it was The plane landed at this is the weirdest thing I've ever done in my life. Like the plane landed in Vegas at 6:45 in the morning.
Oh wow.
Maybe,
Okay.
possibly earlier. Maybe it was like 6:30 in the morning. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? This is so odd. And it was the morning after this F1 race. So I got out, I walked into the terminal and everyone's wearing those weird jackets.
Yes,
that they wear.
Coats, the classic
God,
coats, yes.
they love those stupid jackets.
Yeah.
And they just walk around and they're like, they have death and pain in their eyes because I don't think that they have slept since the race ended 3 hours before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a great experience to see first thing yesterday.
It's the classic pullover coat that isn't thin enough to be a hoodie, but it's not thick enough to be a winter coat. It's just clearly there for decoration. It's a non-accomplishing type of coat. You don't really get anything done other than look at me. I look cool in my European branded.
It's
F1.
a look at me coat.
It's a look at me coat. That's what
Matt,
it is.
you have a look at me coat, I'm sure. Do you have a leather jacket?
I have a Lightning McQueen jacket. The racer.
That's just pointless. That's not even a look at me jacket. That's just pointless.
And then my look at me coat. I have the big Cubs one. The varsity Bears jacket. Oh, what are you looking at? Who's out there?
So do you guys know what the trophy is for the crown? Or not the crown?
Oh, he did it. Oh,
where am I right now? The
Players Era Classic. Yes.
Okay.
Vegas.
So you might be able to see it on this thing.
Yeah.
It's a big shiny ball. It's in that guy's hand right there. You might not be able to see it.
I see it. He's holding it.
It's a big.
Wow.
It's a big shiny.
It's a big. Can you yell?
It's a big shiny ball.
It's a big shiny ball. Can you yell at him and look at me? By the way, with my computer, I pulled the computer up to my face to see the big shiny ball. Can you yell?
No, I can't yell at him. He's
ask
doing
him to
something.
Bring the ball.
I'm doing something. He's doing something.
It's Vegas. Everybody's yelling at everybody.
Hey, let me hold your ball.
TNT is getting ready for their broadcast today, and
who's on the call for TNT?
Brian Anderson and Grant Hill, I think.
Are they doing the whole day there at the
that'd be
Arena?
A long day.
Yeah.
Oh,
that'd be 4 games, right?
Yeah, they are doing the games here, and then there's another crew over at MGM Grand.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it today? Is it 1 o'clock, 3:30?
Actually, Josh, it might just be the first 2.
That makes more sense.
That would be way better. That'd be a long day.
Because and it makes sense too because it's us and Baylor, and then the next game is St. John's and Iowa State, and then the 2 opponents flip tomorrow, and so it would make sense to just give all the broadcasters.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? You got to ask Grant Hill. You're like, what are you getting? $50 a game? $100 a game? What's your fee?
That'd be a great question. Grant Hill, how much do you get paid on a per game basis?
On a per game, maybe we get Grant Hill to do like a Millard North West Side basketball game if his fee is good enough,
Yeah.
What in the hell? Are you doing high school basketball this year?
I
Matt?
wanted to, but we're not doing it, unfortunately, here on the Zone. So
wow.
It was much like the Avengers. It was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people to announce high school basketball. But that
couldn't get the 3 families together.
Nope. We could not. The handshake
families.
meme, whatever that. I mean, I'm just assuming. I don't know. I was told that it might happen and it didn't happen. So.
John emails in on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, John.
Hey, my 3-year-old grandson has a Lightning McQueen jacket. A great point by John.
I bought it for Halloween. I was
it worked its way into your regular rotation.
And dude, it's such a cool coat. I could just wear it anywhere. It's just dope. I'm like, that's why I paid $60 for it. Because I was like, I could wear this in February,
They're doing more camera shots of the
You
shiny
got to get
ball.
the ball on your show. Come on, I believe in you. During a break, you'd be like, I'm on a radio show right now. We would love to have
What am I supposed to do? This is a one-man crew. There are no breaks. The show is only an hour and a half, basically, today before Matt Rhule starts talking. So
before Rhule starts yapping.
Yeah, Rhule's got an hour reserved for himself. And then we'll just send you into Creighton basketball basically after that, which will be a lot of fun.
Do you do no breaks all the way up until okay?
No, we'll have breaks.
That can't be smart or anything. I don't know. It'd be crazy.
No, we will definitely have breaks. In fact, I'm sure that there would be a lot of people who would like us to probably have more breaks.
More.
But we will do the appropriate amount of breaks today.
You should, during one of your breaks, you should go and get the ball and bring it on your show.
All right.
That'd be
Cool.
funny.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right.
totally
It's
try it. That
currently-
would be a very Gary move. You're just trying to project Gary on me, Matt. That's what Gary would do.
Gary
Yeah.
has been projected onto me. That's that we're all just slowly becoming Gary. That's just
You know
what
I'm just gonna keep a low profile here, and I'm gonna stay in my
Whoa.
little corner up here in my little nook, and we'll just keep it quiet, and then we'll see what happens after that. I'm not gonna be yelling at anybody for shiny basketballs, okay?
But I would say you got to get a picture with Grant Hill, though. I would. Grant Hill is like my fourth favorite Piston.
I'm not gonna get any pictures with anyone.
You should. You should take a picture with him. We're doing a radio show today, and it's Connor Happer and Grant Hill.
I can't. I'm not gonna do that.
I would
That's
get a
just.
picture with Grant Hill.
It's very tacky, you know.
I
It's
don't
very.
care.
It's very. Yeah, you don't. I do.
I don't care.
It's very. I hate being tacky and
if-
cringe
if I
because
like
that's what
you-
the millennials do.
First off, that's my brand at this point, is being tacky. Secondly, Grant Hill, like they're I'll say this. Like if Chris Sims was doing, I wouldn't take a picture with Chris Sims, but it's like Grant Hill he's a great basketball player. Like I think he qualifies as like that's a cool picture, But if it was like a random ass dude or like a not good basketball player, like who's a not like if it was Richard Jefferson, that would be weird and tacky,
What I don't understand the difference. It's a person. It's a human being.
But Grant Hill was great and cool,
And Richard Jefferson wasn't.
He was okay. He was fine.
So where is the line? Where does the line get drawn?
Great question.
I mean, I think this whole premise is really, really stupid, but I'm curious of what you think the line
If you
is.
average 25 points over multiple seasons in the NBA, I want to take a picture with you.
Okay.
Okay.
So you got to average 25 points more than once. Now,
More
are we
than
sure
once.
Grant Hill did that?
Yes, he did in the early 90s. Oh yeah.
Okay.
When he was with the Pistons. I will look it up here.
Check it out. Verify.
Yeah.
Because maybe you don't even actually want to get a picture with Grant Hill.
Maybe-
Is this over a career or
No.
Just any
multiple
2 seasons.
2 seasons?
Two
Okay.
seasons. He
or more.
averaged 25 points in 1999.
And
He never did it again. Dang
wow.
it.
See, you don't even actually
I
want
don't
a
even
picture
want
with
to
Grant
take a
Hill.
picture with
A
Grant
lot
Hill.
of 21s before that.
A lot of 21s. Maybe I should lower my standards.
Yeah.
That's also I'm very
20.
good at lowering my standards. That's one of my skills.
I also find the criteria interesting. Like there's a lot of famous quote unquote people who are just kind of walking around here, but hardly any of them played in the NBA.
That is
you know,
good
so
point, Connor.
do you care about any of those people?
No.
What do we do?
No, if you
Like
play-
if you see, like yesterday, I saw every college basketball coach known to man just walking around Park MGM. Hey, Bill Self. Hey, Rick Pitino. Hey, Dana Altman. How's everyone doing? Do you think that I should have got pictures with those people? They didn't
Pitino
play in the
would have been-
NBA.
Connor
Hap.
saw one of those
Hap.
people this weekend.
Hap. If
I
you
saw
got-
all of them.
if-
Literally.
If you got a picture with Rick Pitino, that would be awesome. You know
I'm
what?
not going to take a picture with Rick
You-
Pitino.
I don't think they're not there, but you should get a picture with Mark Pope at some point in your life. Mark Pope. Because
my
he
dear
is a
friend.
part of. See, that's your criteria. If you are part of a Connor Happer bit, Connor Happer should take a picture with you. So if you see Caitlin Clark, you got to get a picture with her.
Mm.
But then never tell the story on
But
the air.
never
Just
tell
post the picture.
Just post the picture.
We'll
Be
get to
like-
that Caitlin Clark thing.
And like Josh goes, "How'd you meet Caitlin Clark?" And you go, "Oh, we'll get to that at some point."
Mhm.
And
Okay.
then you never tell the story.
I will create a list. I don't know who is all part of my bits.
This would actually be a great crossover bit of like write down the people you would love to take a picture with.
Do you want to see a picture?
yeah,
yeah.
For me, it's like nobody. I don't think
You don't want to take a picture with anybody? What if Salvi? What if you saw Salvador Perez right in front of you?
Okay, that's a good one.
Come on.
I would like
Bobby?
to. I want to shake his
I
hand.
want to shake your hand.
I want to shake your hand, but I don't know. I just feel odd about like, hey, because I saw this yesterday. I saw it happen in real time. Like there was people just walking around, and they would see whatever college basketball player in the casino, and they'd be
Sure.
like, stop them, and then do. And I'm like, you guys look ridiculous right now.
Sure.
I don't like looking ridiculous.
Sure.
That's all.
Selfie though.
Even though
is-
I look like this.
you do, yeah. No, you're fine. I mean, you look good. I don't know. Selfies is a whole other level, though. I don't want to take a selfie with a guy. I want to take a
If
picture
somebody
with a guy.
happened to take a picture of me, that's fine. I don't like. Yeah, maybe
someone
we could pose.
happened. Oh, yeah, I just tripped and fell into this John Calipari picture.
Well, I like a candid picture. You know, I think that's organic.
Yeah.
That's what I'm all about. I'm not about forcing it.
Does your wife make you take candid pictures?
No.
Oh.
What? Make you take candid pictures? That's an oxymoron.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point. There are people in my life who go, make sure you get a couple candids of me. And I'm like, that defeats the point of candid.
What does that mean? What's that mean?
So
How
like
does that look?
my sister at this wedding that I went to in Vegas in August, she was like, hey, snap a couple candid pictures of me. Yeah,
In Denver. You
yeah.
never been to Vegas.
Or sorry, in Denver.
Yeah.
I remember. Yes, it was in Denver. You go ahead, and she wanted me to take pictures of like candid pictures.
Oh, but
during
like
the
before the actual pose, they're like getting ready to take the picture. Because I've seen those.
They go, oh yeah, that's super popular. But she was like, she tasked me on taking candid photos of her, so she wouldn't know.
Oh, like during the wedding.
Yeah, they were still candid. Like she didn't know I was taking.
That's
pictures.
cool. That's
but
cool.
she was like, hey, make sure you go ahead and you do that for me. You know,
That's
like,
cool.
Be cognizant. You think that's okay?
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. I'm probably going to ask somebody to take a picture of me today. You know,
my God, yeah. Well, have them take a candid of you. Be like, when I.
Well, I mean, there is only one way, right?
Is that
like
kid we hire at the CWS with you guys take?
No, our tiny baby picture taker is not here. It would have taken him several months to edit that picture, but
I don't care when it gets done. Just take the picture.
Dude, no, I cared when it got done.
Oh.
I cared. I was very much. He was like, I'm editing them together, and I go, Buckaroo, you're the man. Like, just put him in the slot, man. Just put him in. We don't need to reinvent the wheel here.
Yeah, the Creighton guys have a little bit of a faster turnaround, so we're gonna rely on them today.
They got a quick trigger over there.
Yeah, they do a good job. So we're here. Yeah, so last year we were at the MGM Garden Grand Arena, which we couldn't stop remarking about how small and. Yeah, it's just like every chair was like, it was almost like a folding chair. It was like the consistency of a folding chair.
Yeah.
And it was just so hard for me to picture, large grand scale sporting events inside of that arena.
Sure.
This one is a little bit bigger, but also a little bit more. So this is across at the Mandalay Bay. Yeah. And it's a little bit more put together. It looks like an actual arena. It's not built in like pieces. I believe this is home of the Las Vegas Aces.
Oh, okay.
So that is where we are today.
It's got that classic color that you only see in sporting events, like that.
It's just gray.
Gray. That kind of slightly darker gray that you only ever really see like in concourses of college football arenas. You know, it's it's the type of color that you would never want to paint on your walls in your house or anything like that. You know, because
I don't want my house to be this color. I want my arena to be this color, though.
No,
this is the color of the chai.
Would you agree that you should do a ranking of best colors in stadiums? That'd be a great Connor Happer bit.
All right, I know this is going to be pretty on brand, but I don't think it would be a great Connor Happer bit, by the way. But this is going to be very on brand, and please understand that I am saying this from like a non-biased position. I don't like when they make the seats red inside of arenas.
Whoa! Wow.
I don't like it. I don't think it looks good. I think it looks, because the red over time, like, it dulls.
Sure.
And like, yes, that has definitely happened at Pinnacle Banker. Like, I just think that building would look a whole lot sleeker if the seats were gray or black.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
You don't
if the
like
seats were black.
That like slightly maroon color that is like the felt of every single. It seems like even when a team,
it makes it look old and dull. And,
even when a team doesn't wear red, I feel like you could find those seats. Like they're kind of the movie theater seats in a way.
The court is important. Like, Nebraska's done a good job. They lightened up their court like several times over the last several years.
Like it's
this year what are you? You're out on Herbie? What?
You got to pick one. It's either the state outline or it's Herbie. You can't.
Oh yeah, I've heard you say this before. This is such a weird gripe. I don't understand why it has to be one or the other.
I don't know. It's clunky. It's weird. It's I like them both separately. It's almost like having like peanut butter on a burger. I love peanut butter and I love burgers, but they don't really work together.
I disagree. I think it works fine. I don't understand why it doesn't work. Yeah,
I don't like it at all. I don't like peanut butter on my burgers.
It's such a weird take from you. Why are you doing this?
I'm out on peanut butter on burgers. I'm out.
That's okay. That's a fine take. But the whole state and
it's just it's clunky. Thing. It's weird. It's a little too much for me. It's one or the other. You can get the 7 or you can get the 10, but you cannot get them both. You know,
I don't know. That seems like an arbitrary rule. Arbitrary.
Well, all my rules are arbitrary. All my rules don't make sense. Right? I just told you
arbitrary boy.
I love, by the way, you didn't play into the Grant Hill's my 4th favorite Piston. You knew better to ask me who my other 3 favorite.
Because if we went down that road, it's just there would be no. I mean, people already think this crossover is boring. That would be like the end. The end of it. That would be horrible.
This is not a boring crossover.
It is. I think it's kind of boring.
You've discussed the proper color gray. There's been better crossover.
I'm sorry. I don't know how am I supposed to be more entertaining? What do you want me to start making an onion little volcano here, like a hibachi chef? I don't know.
Now that would be awesome. You should do that. That would be a good crossover. Yeah.
I did pickle some red onions. Wow. This is a boring crossover now. I started pickling things. I learned how to pickle, how to make pickles.
All right.
That's a crossover brought to you by Everlevel Concrete.
I think it is
21 minutes. Was I
we got a condensed show today.
Is that bad of a performance by me that we had a 21-minute crossover?
No, I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. You know, we talked about it just has met its natural end.
Maybe
now it's over.
This is the Grant Hill of crossovers. It started off really, really well, and then it kind of faded into the abyss.
But it will have a resurrection later.
Yes.
No, but there's no need to resuscitate this thing. You know, we don't have to. No. We don't have to do that. We could just end it, and then we can go to the celebration of life after this, because this crossover is dead. Thank you, Matt. Great to hear from you, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
Poll question up at Happer Show: are our crossovers DNR?
What's that mean?
Do not resuscitate.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Right. Love you, Happer. Bye.
Okay, bye. There goes.
No, love you too.
That's what I say when I say I love you to Sipple. That's exactly what he says to me too. So this is like a line of secession. All right, that is the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Part of this thing here today. There's nobody in here yet. There's like 7 to 10 people around, kind of getting set up. I can't tell because of my cans here how loud I'm talking.
You're fine.
So
is it possible?
No, I'm fine for the radio, but is it possible that everybody in this building can hear me? I don't know. I don't know. Nobody's looking at me weird. So that's a good start. All right. That is indeed the crossover. Matt, have a great day. Of course, it was fantastic. It was a great crossover, and I love you. I love you.
Thank you, Connor.
Back after this to start things up on a Monday on 1620 The Zone.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone.
Patchy fog possible this morning, giving way to showers, especially through the first half of the day. Remaining cloudy and mild, a high this afternoon in Omaha, 54 degrees. Winds remaining light out of the south. Tonight, mostly cloudy with patchy fog possible again, a low of 41. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
As this year comes to an end, the best offers of the season are happening now at Woodhouse Chevy. Shop our full lineup, from rugged trucks to stylish SUVs, and find the perfect fit for all your winter adventures. Take advantage of end-of-year specials with limited time savings and great financing offers happening now. Browse our inventory online or shop in-store at our locations in Omaha and Missouri Valley. Woodhouse Chevy. Together, let's drive.
Your next vehicle is waiting for you at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Right now, you can save up to $10,000 off MSRP on the 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab 4x4. Visit us in-store or shop online today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Monday. It's the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer and Josh Odson with you. Josh in our lovely studio in Omaha. And I am here from the Michelob Ultra Arena here inside the Mandalay Bay, which is also inside of Las Vegas, which also hosted a F1 race 48 hours ago. And the zombies are still, they're making their way out. Most departed yesterday. And now we have turned to, it was quite the interesting crowd walking around Las Vegas yesterday. We had F1 zombies. We had a lot of college basketball quarter zips, which I'm wearing college basketball quarter zips right now.
Browns fans?
A lot of Browns fans, outnumbering the Raiders fans.
Of course.
And then the Raider fans who were, shouting. I had a jump scare because I was walking through one of the hotels yesterday. I did a trial walk over here to the Mandalay Bay.
Time it out. That's good.
Yeah,
prep.
time it out. I had so much time yesterday, so I didn't really know what to do with it. I spend most of my day walking around aimlessly. And so I did a trial walk yesterday. And on my trial walk, I was walking through one of the casinos, and a Raiders guy walked by me. And as he just passed me, he started his Raiders. And I was like, ugh, what's going on? But he was on his way to the game where he did not have a good time. He might have been one of those guys who got in that big fight yesterday. Did you see the fight in the stands at the Raiders game?
I did not.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good fight?
Yeah, it turned into one of those big brawl situations.
Did anyone yell World Star?
I don't think so. It was
okay.
I think that time of the year is over, or that time in our lives is over. World Star.
All right, I'm watching this Raiders fight now.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay.
That's those are the people that were just yelling.
He's really
Raiders.
Leaning back and able to throw punches.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the Browns fans were out and about. NFL is a place where people just love wearing jerseys. People love wearing jerseys. And I saw a lot of Browns jerseys yesterday in all of our various casinos. And then the college basketball quarter zips. I saw probably every college basketball coach you could imagine yesterday, and players and things like that. So this is really cool as attention kind of turns to basketball here in Las Vegas. We are here at the Michelob Ultra Arena. Creighton and Baylor is our first game of the day here, luckily enough. Creighton's in the first game each of these first 2 days of the tournament. And they will start at 1 o'clock Central Time, pregame at 12:30 from this very spot with myself and John Bishop today. And then on Sportsmanlike Conduct will come up after that. But we will take you all the way up until that 12:30 pregame right here on the show. Actually, Matt Rhule is going to help us out today as well. So Matt Rhule is going to speak a little later today for his weekly Monday press conference. He's going to start it at about 11:50. You know, when they say 11:50, maybe that means noon. And if he goes for his regular 32, 34, 37 minutes, we're basically, we're done. The show starts after that. So it's going to be a little bit of a cluster of a day and a cluster of a week. But that's Thanksgiving week. Nobody knows what day it is. And then and you just, do whatever's next in front of your plate. But we are here on the Connor Happer Show, which we have plenty to react to from over the weekend for the next, so it's 10:31. I'm looking at my clock and it doesn't say that, but it is 10:31 as right. I should be broadcasting to our audience, which is in Omaha. So we got basically an hour and a half, a little less than an hour and a half to kind of.
Whoa, that's right.
make something out of this.
Really should have just flipped it over to Dan Patrick.
Let's do a show in the next hour and a half somehow. We'll pile it all together. So our guests are nobody today. We would normally have Sam on Mondays at 1. He will be off the air by 1. Matt Rhule, I guess, could be a part of our lineup, powered by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. And we would always love to hear from you all, 402-951-1620. On the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. You can call or text that number, tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed, email Connor or Josh Show at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And we say good morning to the YouTube streamers today, the YouTube streamers. What was that from Stibbs? At least Matt Rhule is helping someone out around here. Matt Rhule. So I'm really looking forward to this press conference from Matt Rhule, because or we could just flip it the other way. Is it possible that Matt Rhule gets up to the press conference and they decide, hey guys, come over here, follow me. And then he leads the media into a small tent. And inside that small tent, which is not insulated or anything like that, it is cold, and you can hear everything that happens on the outside.
Okay.
They start banging a giant bell the entire ding, ding, ding. And then Matt Rhule has to do his press conference in those conditions yet again. It hardens you. I think that'd be a great idea.
Okay, so I heard the beginning of the press conference Saturday night. And I said,
funny.
Is he in a tent? Are they outside?
Yes.
This is a Big Ten school. I did not stay long enough for the bell to be ringing, but
they were it sounded like he was on the inside of a moving train. It was amazing.
I'll bet John loved it.
An all-timer of a press conference. And he was just screaming. He was screaming because the media couldn't hear him, and he couldn't hear the media's questions.
That was my other question about the press conference Saturday night was he mad? Because he was screaming.
I don't think
before
so.
I had the sound on, I could see he was screaming.
No, I don't think he actually was. He's always a little bit more fired up, after games, and
I'm gonna have to watch the tape. We got to flush this.
He gets talking really, really, really fast, but this time he was talking really fast, and he was just screaming. It was, and if the mic, like depending on the mic situation, you probably, if you were just listening to it audio wise, you probably wouldn't have been able to tell what was going on around him. All you could tell was he was screaming at everyone, and you probably thought, oh wow, this guy's just angry after this game. But there was some things to be angry about as Nebraska gets beat 37-10 on Saturday night. And one of the topics that we'll talk about over the next hour or so here is it all come down to this? What a great scenario, Josh. The entire season, whether it's a success or whether it's a failure, it will be decided on Friday against a team that has just really owned you, really owned you, and wants nothing more, if given the opportunity to decide the fate of your season, to make it the greatest failure that has ever come across. And who, by the way, is coming off of another improbable, ridiculous Iowa-style win, and that would be, of course, the Iowa Hawkeyes, who come into town on Friday. What a great scenario. Excuse me. What a great scenario for everybody to be in for the game on Friday. Cannot wait. So we will talk about that a little bit today on the show. Talent or effort, a Tiffy update. And we could talk about some Jays, of course, as well, who will get going in time. 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. I think that's right.
I have not seen the Jays tweets this morning. Where are they?
Yeah, where are the Jays tweets? Are the burners a little slow today because it's just Monday?
It's a sleepy Monday.
Sleepy. So I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of Jays, just straight up Jays tweets today. So get those going. Or you could just leave a Jays in the chat, I suppose, if you would like to as well. So plenty to talk about today as we fire things up on a Monday. Once again, would love to hear from you all on the show. Josh Hodson back in studio. I'm Connor Happer here in Las Vegas. By the way, that Vegas graphic on the YouTube, Josh, you've really got some run out of that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how you probably made that one time. You're like, all right, this will be cool. I'll use it one time. You used it like 6 times.
That's right.
Fantastic.
It's really worked out for me.
Good work by you. Good work by you. All right, we will return. There is plenty to come here on the Connor Happer Show right here on 1620 The Zone. But first, a word from our friends at Underdog. Fantasy football season is in full swing, and however you'd like to get on the action, you could do it on Underdog right now in Nebraska. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Plus, with Underdog's ultra-fast payouts, you could get your profits in a snap. Download the app today. Use promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For Crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing get terms _DFS_.html for details. Consider with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys?
At Baxter Subaru, we won't sell you a car. We'll help you buy one. No handoffs, no hassles, and no hidden fees. And now, during the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event, with every new Subaru sold or leased, Subaru will donate $250 to either the ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, or the National Park Foundation. Plus, Baxter Subaru will donate $150 to our hometown charity, the Boys and Girls Club of the Midlands. Get started now at BaxterSubaruOmaha.com.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you on a Monday. The Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Still starting to see a few more people, a few more workers pop in the Michelob Ultra Arena. We are how many hours until tip-off? 3, I guess. A little, yeah.
Two and change.
This is so nonsensical to me. It would be so much easier if I just if my body and my head and all the clocks that I was looking at said the same thing that I'm trying to project to the listeners in Omaha, but it's been very difficult this morning. So it's 10:43, but everything that I look at tells me it's 8:43. Sadly, if it is 10:43, which I do believe that is the case, just a little over 2 hours. Stibbs writes in on YouTube.
Hi, Stibbs.
Connor struggling with time will be a fun running bit today.
Absolutely.
Dude. I mean, yesterday may have been the longest day of my life. I have never gotten to Vegas that early before and had so little to do. And they gave me a hotel room right away as well. I didn't expect that. I thought I was just going to have to, seriously waste time. But no, I got everything I needed to get done yesterday, and all basically hurry up and wait, one of those situations. All right. But let's talk about the game from Saturday night.
Do we have to?
Well, I mean, no, we don't.
We should. It's our job. But
we should serve.
It's unpleasant.
We should serve the audience. Yes, there is a little bit of unpleasantness. I wasn't as, I don't know, mad is not the right way. I mean, I felt doing Big Red Overreaction that it was a little doomsday-y, and don't get me wrong, it was bad. I will validate your feelings there. It was
okay.
It was really, really bad. I mean, Nebraska was, I felt like, outmanned after the first drive, right? And what that tells you is that it's not not just the physical talent that the other team has as an advantage over you. There's John. And but it also tells you that I felt like after the first drive of the game, I felt like after Nebraska gets stopped on 4th and goal from a 2-yard line, they run it with Emmett Johnson, he gets completely stuffed. I felt like Nebraska lost their edge after that. And then they go down the field 98 yards, and all of a sudden the game kind of just completely flips from that perspective. Hey, look who it is, Josh. Josh, look up.
That's John Bishop.
It's John Bishop.
That's Miss America.
John, I don't know why, but why did this come up? We want to call you apparently Miss America now.
Because he had a great answer for careful, Connor. Careful.
Wait, what?
What?
John Bishop on Saturday's Big Red Overreaction had a great answer for the guy who wanted to invent a new offense. Similar to when we
yeah,
asked
you're
Miss
very
America,
diplomatic.
Yeah. When we asked Miss America how to fix Al Qaeda or something like that.
What was it? She said the nonsense and such, and I can't remember her answer, but it was a meme before there were memes.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right. So you were very diplomatic about
Wait a minute.
that answer.
Wait a minute. Was I that vapid and vague on my answer?
You
very
definitely
well-
went gung-ho in trying to answer the question, just like she did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
You
all
very
right.
well could have
You know
said,
what?
like, hey,
That's
you're an
fair.
idiot, and just go home.
I
But-
could have.
but you
I
didn't.
could have, but I could tell. I could tell. Like, by the way, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Omaha.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I could tell that it was going to be a one of them days
Mm-hmm.
on the old overreaction, and I could also tell that Connor was like, I got an early flight. We're gonna make this quick.
Well, I just felt like we had a high percentage.
Which, by the way, I do not disagree with in principle. Loved it.
We had a high percentage of callers at a certain point. We hit that halfway point, and I felt like we were going about a 70% rate of callers that either said the F word or mentioned something about Jerry Sandusky.
Yeah.
And so I was
Yep.
like, all right, if this is what we're doing tonight, that's cool. We don't have to do a productive show or anything like that. And so that was the way we went on with our business that night. Yep.
Yeah.
Miss America. Anyway.
Miss America. Okay. You know what? Didn't we just get a Miss USA from Lincoln here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah.
How'd
somebody
she
from
do? How'd
Nebraska.
she do in the universe contest? Miss Universe.
What?
Wasn't that this week?
I don't know. What other planets did she go up against?
Well, Mars. The Martians are always good.
What does
because-
Miss Mars look like?
Well, she's got 3 breasts.
Total Recall.
Well, you know,
Let's Miss
sometimes they
Pluto.
say that life imitates art. You want me to?
Oh, there you go.
shoehorn
Now we
in
don't have to
underneath
do
the ground?
this.
No, just kidding. I don't need to do that.
Okay,
I don't-
no,
I don't-
you enjoy your time not doing a radio
Yeah.
show. By the
No,
way,
no, I'm good.
are you good? Or after the game,
Yeah.
you're not doing anything, right? Josh has a fill-in for you.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
Schaefer's doing the show.
Okay, good.
We've got a who diddy after the game.
We do have a who diddy.
Over at our favorite.
I'm going to need
former
you to
bar.
elaborate for legal purposes.
Well, it's
We have a
It's-
who diddy, Josh.
it's a
That's
who
it.
diddy. It's a who diddy over at the Circa.
Yeah, I've been told we've been put on a list.
We're on a list.
Again,
Apparently-
I'm going to need you to elaborate for legal purposes.
Oh, all right. Well, there's like
a gathering,
food
a get
and
together.
cocktails.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some who diddy.
Not Diddy. Not.
Why? Why does Diddy have to be a bad thing?
Oh, John, I think you know.
Oh, all right.
I
Well,
think you know.
it's all good and clean and fun and legal.
Very cool and very.
Of course,
legal.
as I was making my way to In-N-Out Burger last night, I smelled a lot of things that
Not
used to
legal.
not be legal,
Yeah.
but apparently they are in Las Vegas.
Yeah, so you can just walk around the street and do whatever you want. It's
You
amazing.
can walk around the street and get a contact high. I mean,
You can. It smells that way here. We are, but
more so than ever before.
yeah, we're going to the place where famously Nick Grimm drank his Japanese whiskey last year.
Oh, is
You
that
were-
where this deal is?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I wonder if they'll have Japanese whiskey.
I bet they will. We'll take a look at the menu.
I like it.
John, you go and do whatever you got to do.
That's
There's-
all right.
that's-
Oh, you're kicking me out.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
just checking out the show. Oh, they gave us an
Unless you want-
FX feed and everything.
they do. I don't think it's hot yet. I don't think it's live yet. No, it's not. But
And look, the
it will be.
TNT people are here, and they got their TNT set. Is Chuck
Yeah.
going to be there?
Matt wanted me to get a picture with Grant Hill. And I said, I don't think that I'm going to do that.
It's
You don't
his
want a
fourth
picture?
favorite Piston.
You don't want a picture with Bruce Pearl instead?
Yeah, I mean, you could have
Future
a picture.
President Bruce Pearl.
Oh, is he a part of the crew?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe he's going to be over there. Yeah.
Okay.
President
All right.
Pearl.
Is
Yeah,
Ernie?
President
No,
Pearl.
Ernie doesn't work for them anymore. I guess.
Well, I think he still does. But I don't think he does their stuff. I don't think he does the college stuff.
Huh.
I don't know how his contract works.
I don't either. I mean, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
I'm just here to listen for Matt Rhule. Has he started yet?
No, he will start in 1 hour.
Great.
At least I think, if my math is
No,
right
you're
on that,
correct.
Josh.
You nailed it.
Okay, very good. Any Nebraska football takes before we sign off for John
I
Bishop?
mean, we did.
For all Jays.
We did that on a Saturday, man. It didn't get any better.
No.
And I didn't bother to rewatch it because I didn't need to see it again.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Short week.
We're on to Iowa.
We're on to Iowa. We are on to Iowa. Okay. Well, John, we'll talk to everyone at 12:30 for our pregame show for Creighton and Baylor. But anyway, all right. So I got a couple emails off of the first segment. By the way, Seth writes in, poll question: does Miss Mars have 3 breasts? Josh, would you like to put that one up?
Feels a little bonky.
Well, I mean, it's not that bad.
Okay, it's your name on the marquee.
It is. Whatever. That's fine. We're in Vegas. People know about some of the different things that we're getting into in that situation. All right. Here's an email from Brandon about Nebraska football. Connor, by the way, the subject line is why Nebraska? Why? Which we're off to a great start.
Why?
How is it possible you come off a bye week and that is the performance you laid out on the field? Was this another case of being Minnesota pilled? Did they look at the record instead of the talent and think that this was going to be a cakewalk? I told everyone all week that Penn State had a lot to play for, a chance to go 6-6 and get momentum for next year, at least salvage it in the postseason. I'll stop in the middle of that, and I'll say, I said last week I didn't think getting to a bowl game was a motivating factor for Penn State, and I still don't believe that. But it's very clear that they were motivated for a variety of different things for Saturday night, and it made the fact that Nebraska looked unmotivated very apparent during the game, and it's because they were playing for their coach. I mean, that is the primary thing I think to come out of that. And they had an opportunity to, Terry Smith really had an opportunity to kind of stamp that game. And it was all feel good all night for them. And, they go for it on a fake punt and all that stuff. The players pretty clearly respond to him. So I think they wanted to accomplish that going into the game. And they wanted to break some records, Katron Allen's record and Nick Singleton's record and all that stuff. It ended up just being a very sort of cathartic experience for Penn State and their fans the other night. And it was very similar, I think, to what Nebraska experienced against Wisconsin last year, just pummeled them and ran away with the game. Only good vibes, only good feelings. And, they certainly were motivated. I want to talk about why Nebraska may not have been. I don't believe that was a thing going into the game. I think Nebraska was properly, felt like Nebraska was properly ready to play. But I think all the air got sucked out after the first drive. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it from a bigger perspective as well. Because I said this on Saturday night. I just feel like the program in general tends to lack that juice, lack that edge a little bit too much, and some of it is in the way that they teach it and the way that they approach it. It is nameless, faceless, and all those things that you always hear, like we're going to approach everything the same way. And I think that's generally a healthy way to go about your business. But when the other team is bringing a little extra and they're bringing that edge to the park, you got to find a way to match it. And I just don't feel like Nebraska did that on Saturday night. So let's take a quick break. We'll get out of the way on this segment. Want to remind you first about all the online contests that we have going on 1620thezone.com right now, including Blue Collar Boxing, which is Friday, December 12th at Baxter Arena. Steel Panther for their 15th anniversary tour, Saturday, December 13th at Whiskey Roadhouse at Horseshoe. And Rascal Flats 2026, January 24th. 2026.
Wear your Lightning McQueen jacket to the show.
You could do that, yes, at CHI Health Center. So enter to win all those contests on our website right now, 1620thezone.com. We'll be back after this.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Host
Coffee stands as the vibrant heart of every break room, offering the unique fusion of traditional quality and modern flair. We're not just your coffee provider, we're the center of memorable workplace moments. Call Host Coffee today.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972.
All right, welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you on a Monday, the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. A little less than an hour, we will turn it over to Matt Rhule for his Monday press conference out at the Hawks Championship Center in Lincoln. All right, so a lot of debate about this back and forth on as far as what happened on Saturday night. And I want to know it from you guys. What caused Nebraska's shortcomings on Saturday night against Penn State? Was it talent? Was it effort? Was it a little bit of both? For the record, and it may not surprise you to hear this, Josh, because I'm a very, a very in the middle guy.
Oh, you're gonna say both.
It is. It 100% is both. So at the same time, you have to understand, because I think both of these things are talking points. We got a lot of calls on the postgame show on Saturday night about how, hey, is it just an NIL thing? Like, they just need more NIL. Like,
throw money at it.
Yeah, well, like, what are we going to, like, they got to go out and get some defensive linemen and stuff. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but we got to go out and just pay defensive linemen like $1 billion and get those guys. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's true. That's a potential solution to this thing. And then I also see, like, hey, what's up with Nebraska just rolling over and dying? What's up with Nebraska just not bringing the effort? Did the same thing happen against Minnesota? And I thought Minnesota was a much worse example of,
I agree,
the effort thing, or the focus thing and the energy thing, than Saturday night was. But like I said, I didn't feel like Nebraska responded well to the first two drives of the game. The first one where Nebraska goes all the way down and gets it, Emmett Johnson busts off the big run. They get stopped in the goal line, turn it over on downs. I felt like, this ended up not being as big of a talking point as I thought it was going to be in the moment, because I thought the game would be closer. I thought they should have taken 3 points. I thought it was a take your points game, and I thought it was going to be a low scoring, situation. Turned out it probably wouldn't have mattered. Because because Nebraska just they couldn't get any stops on the field on defense, and Penn State went all the way down after that and scored. Do they go all the way down if Nebraska goes, straight through and they get a field goal on the first possession? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't change anything, but at the very least, it's not like this crushing blow to get nothing out of that drive. And then you look at the rest of the drives. Nebraska's drive chart from this game is hilarious. It was turnover on downs, punt, field goal, 3-and-out punt, turnover on downs, touchdown, turnover on downs, turnover on downs.
What are they, the Lions?
They had 5 turnover on downs in the game. Now it's almost, it's only like that because they were down so much in the second half and they were going to spend their time, just punting and trying to get in the way of Penn State. So I get it at that point. But I felt like they had to take the points on that first drive. So that's a piece of this as well. And, like I said, we got varying calls all across the board on Saturday night about, it's a talent thing and they need to go get NIL and it's an effort thing. And so it's one side of the other, and I'm definitely in the middle, and I'm definitely on both, and I can add to that part of the equation too. There were people that I think got a little bit overreactive. Whoa,
hello.
Sorry, I thought a rocket ship had just taken off around me. The music has begun here at Michelob Ultra Arena. I was definitely in the camp on Saturday night of like, we're being really emotional here because we got a bunch of correspondences of like, they got to get rid of Butler. They got to get rid of the defensive line. We cannot be doing PA announcements. There is no one in the building.
Mm-hmm.
The building is closed.
Got to test the mic,
dude. I gotta lock in. I gotta lock in at this point. So I'm just not going to be that reactive to that. And I think you have to take, if you're making coaching staff evaluations, you have to take the entire season into account. And I generally like the returns of what Nebraska's put together on defense. And you also have to think about what they've been working with as well. And people will say, well, look, Happer, they just need to fix their defensive line. Everything needs to change in that regard because they are 90 whatever in the country in their ability to stop the run at this point. And like, I just feel like that is cherry picking and parachuting into a number, into a result to try and get what you want. Like, everyone's like, hey, well, you got the 95th worst, 95th best rushing defense in the country. It's time to fire the defensive line coach. It's time to fire the defensive coordinator. And I just don't believe that adds that accounts for the appropriate context in what Nebraska's gone through this season. We talked about it nonstop all offseason. They have a smaller defensive line this year. Now, I could have gone without they're going to be hell on wheels. And, last week the comment was, by the way, the national anthem is playing, but it's not like an official. It's just sound. So don't think I'm un-American for not standing up for the national anthem. I hate to keep interrupting this excellent conversation that we're having here, but I think that we knew before the year Nebraska's defensive line was small. They had undergone a lot of turnover. They had lost 2 guys in particular on the defensive line who were so impactful and so important over the last 2 seasons. And like I said, I could have gone without the whole defense, us not being able to stop the run as low-hanging fruit comment from last week, because that makes it sound like it's this like media-driven thing that you can't stop the run. They know that they can't stop the run. And their answer this year, John Butler's answer this year, has been to create a defense that can't stop the run, but is still able to get stops, and it has created one of the better pass defenses in the country out of that. So I feel like with the tools that they have at their fingertips, they have done a pretty dang good job overall defensively this year. I'll just say it. So I am nowhere in the same ballpark as you. If your response to this game is, The defense doesn't work. You have to fire the defensive coordinator. The defensive line doesn't work, and you have to fire the defensive line coach. I'm with you on getting better players and developing, but hear me out. They're really young right now on that defensive front. They just are. And another year of growth and development, I think, is really, really, really going to help that group, as well as getting players from the transfer portal. So I hate for my response. What that all adds up to for me is like, I hate for my generic response to this game to be like, yeah, just brush it off your shoulders and it's no big deal and they'll run it back next year and they'll get better. Like, I hate for it to amount to that, but I think that's basically what it is. And I have some issues with how Nebraska approached things in that game from an edge standpoint, from a intensity standpoint, and from a focus and effort standpoint. But that ball got rolling downhill in the wrong direction, and Nebraska couldn't find a way to stop it on Saturday night. But generally, are we picking apart this thing as if there needs to be these significant changes in the offseason? I don't feel that way. And I also don't feel like we're going into an offseason where there's going to be a whole lot of turnover. I think the response to this season very likely will be, let's run it back. They're doing fake starting lineups now.
Got to test it all out. It's a professional operation.
They just played Creighton's hype video, by the way.
Were you in it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. This is like, it's literally the hype video that Creighton puts at that. They just take it and put it here.
Interesting.
I wonder if they have Jackson McAndrews starting in this fake lineup. Let's
go ahead and delete that.
Well, hold on. Here it is. Josh Dix. Nice. Awesome. Anyway, now, with that being said, Josh, they have a big game on Friday.
They do.
If they lose that game, you are going to have a difficult time selling.
Pain.
You are going to have a difficult time selling. All right, let's just take everything we did this year, step forward, let's double down, and let's run it back for 2026, and we will be better just because time is on our side, and we have developed, and we are another year deeper into wherever it is we're going. Not a lot of people are going to want to hear that after another 7-5 finish, because they will say, well, you went 7-5, you lost to Iowa again. We have literally not taken a step forward. We have not taken a step forward the way that we forward. To that, it's hard for me to argue. It's hard for me to argue with that. The truth is, like I just said, like I always say, like, it's going to end up in the middle, likely somewhere. But you have a decision to make, I think, at quarterback, or maybe the decision will be made for you, and we'll see what happens. But make no mistake about it, this game is such a giant thing on Friday for how you feel. I mean, I've been saying it for several weeks, how you feel going into the offseason. And I wonder if they lose on Friday, if they even have like the option to quote unquote run it back. And the answer to the question is yes, because the fan base and how they feel doesn't necessarily play a role into how you operate and what you do, or at least it shouldn't to a significant extent. But they are reactive to how it goes and how it feels, and they should be. I don't know. There's just a lot on the line on Friday for Nebraska and Iowa, and how much energy and how much urgency there is in the offseason is going to be determined by potentially not even how you play on Friday, because it doesn't matter how you play against Iowa. It's literally whether you win or not.
Yep.
And that's fascinating from a variety of different angles. There's no doubt about that.
You're not going to become Texas Tech. You're not going to pump money into this thing until you're a winner. You're going to have to recruit well, have portal contacts, get a guy or two, and have that be the edge. You're going to have to win in the margins, and that's hard. That's difficult, right? Like, it's not what the fan base wants to hear, but it's what Nebraska has to do.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's going to be some options on the table, and keep in mind also, it's sort of like situational. I mean, we're not talking about it overall. You know, the overarching point is kind of the result of all the little things that happen, whether it be quarterback, changing the coaching staff, you know, twisting and turning all these different things in different directions. Got a tweet here from Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
On, oh, look, it is the MC who's preparing for this. Maybe I should take a selfie with her.
Grunt the MC.
Grunt the MC. The MC photograph. So I got a tweet from Andrew here on the JTech Instructions on Twitter feed. Andrew says, I would agree with you about saying the line is really, really young if this was game 3, 4, or 5. But the Penn State game was game 11. You shouldn't get pushed around like that in game 11. I mean, Andrew, like from a physicality standpoint, what do you think? Are they going to get bigger from game 1 to game 11? Like, I understand they need to get better, but you scheme the defense and you operate as a whole defensively and offensively, hopefully a little bit more in the future for that matter, based on the personnel that you have. And they were quite obviously in the preseason trying to infuse some confidence in those young players on the defensive line, while at the same time setting up a defense that is going to try and, you know, keep things in front of you a little bit, try and get stops when it comes down to the red zone, get a few more turnovers, get explosive. They haven't been as explosive as I thought that they would be this year. I thought that they would be getting some, you know, guys coming off the edge a little bit more and getting to the quarterbacks. Haven't done that quite as much. And, you know, be really good on the back end and make it difficult to throw against and have, you know, make it difficult to have long gains against Nebraska football. You can do that. You can play that kind of defense when you are not as talented, big, and physical on the defensive line. If Nebraska had an actual defensive line that was hell on wheels and they were clogging things up and they had Ty Robinson and Nash Hutmaker, I think the setup of the defense this year would be a little bit different. So, like I said, you played it out that way, which tells me they knew at the beginning of the season their personnel shortcomings before the season started, right? And so this getting run all over and getting chunked to death by Katron Allen, like, this was always in the cards. They have done a good job generally this year at being able to stem that. In Michigan, it was large runs, huge runs, and then the rest of the season, it's just kind of little ones and you know, being able to move the ball downfield, and they've generally done an okay job at getting off the field on third down as well. So, you know, back to the original question of like, hey, is this talent or is this effort, and what is this? It's obviously both. John writes in.
Hi, John.
On the YouTube. Connor, John Butler apologist. Like, I'm not like I love John Butler and I'll shout it from the rooftops, and I'm not that. But I also think we are, I don't know. Maybe this isn't actually a thing, and it's just what I've heard from a variety of different people coming off the game on Saturday night. Everyone wants to just run Butler out of town now. I don't really understand that. At the same time, I'm not convinced that he's like the right guy or the right option to like be the defensive coordinator of the future, or, you know, has this super high upside or anything like that. But I am very willing to see what year 2 looks like in coached under John Butler. Very willing. Like, the defense is fine. The defense is generally fine. If you want to, you know, fire John Butler because Nebraska's defensive linemen are all freshmen, redshirt freshmen, sophomores, and redshirt sophomores who have never played before, and they have a problem stopping the run, and you're shocked by that, and you want to hold John Butler responsible for it, be my guest. But I think you're wrong. I just think that you're holding the wrong person accountable for that. And I don't know how that doesn't make sense to some people. So that's where I'm at. Hopefully it doesn't sound like I'm a John Butler apologist, but very willing to see how year two goes.
I don't know if you're as on top of things as when you're in the studio here.
I'm not.
Have you seen the breaking news from the University of Nebraska Lincoln?
Oh, I have now.
Okay.
So let's just take a break here, and we got to get to that on the other side, I suppose, and plenty more. This is coming up here on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But yes, Josh, we do have to remind you again about Underdog Fantasy, where football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. You can make picks and win money right now in Nebraska, and it's that time again. Feast Week is back on Underdog from November 26th through November 30th. Check the app daily for special promos. That will encapsulate your entire weekend of football, including Thanksgiving. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get those picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So whether it be the slate on Thursday or Sunday this weekend, take advantage of this Feast Week. Man, football is really starting to hit hard now. So check out Underdog. Take your favorite player. Maybe he's on your fantasy team, higher or lower on stat categories. That way you can absolutely double up on your chances to feel good. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code HAPPER1620 and score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Promo code HAPPER1620. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, welcome back. We are about 2 hours away. No. 1 hour away from Jay's pregame. Yes, 1 hour away from Jay's pregame. The Blue Jays are in the house. I'm watching them walk in the door right now from one of the tunnels over from the hotel. So Creighton and Baylor coming up at 1 o'clock Central today. Pregame 12:30 with myself and John Bishop here from Michelob Ultra Arena inside the Mandalay Bay. News from Nebraska. They have announced another concert in their concert series. It is Zach Bryan coming to Memorial Stadium on Saturday, April 25th. Now, does this just take the place of the spring game? Feels like that's the way we're headed.
Maybe later they will announce there are football shenanigans going on before or something like that, right?
Yeah, maybe before
sale.
or a week before, or like, I don't know, something like that. So Zach Bryan with support from, now this is for the tour. Let me see if I can go to
It's
Lincoln.
going to ruin the tour.
Yeah, so Kings of Leon and J.R. Carroll will be with Zach Bryan at Memorial Stadium in late April. Yeah, Kings of Leon, huh?
Kings of Leon going out on the road with Zach Bryan.
Kings of Leon.
Huh.
Yeah. They're one of the supporting bands, so they're going to be with him in Lincoln. I haven't really heard of any of the other people, but I'm not up on my music. Camp, I've heard of Camp. I've heard of Alabama Shakes. I haven't heard of some of the other words that are being used on the Zach Bryan tour. I said it before, I'm kind of over Zach Bryan, but I'm sure this will be a very highly attended concert.
Gonna need a lot of beer.
Yeah, definitely going to need a lot of beer. Zach Bryan has played just about every venue known to man. All of your favorite venues, Josh, in the Omaha and Lincoln area.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. I know you love all of them. Basically, I've had a concert by Zach Bryan, at least after April. They will have, whether it's Memorial Stadium or the Chi or PBA, or he's played many of the smaller ones when he was not quite as big several years ago as well. Yeah, I know people have been talking about this one for a while.
Not a very well kept secret.
No, I don't think so. Not
In
a very
fact,
well kept secret.
I think Gary on the crossover many times has said that this show is happening.
So what's the other one? What's the other one that they had lined up now? Didn't they announce? Oh yeah, the Oklahoma Choma. What was that?
Yep, that was the name of them.
What was the Oklahoma Choma?
The
boys from Oklahoma. The boys from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Sorry, as you said, Josh, I'm not sure I have all my faculties right now. Speaking of news in the NFL, the Rams smashed the Buccaneers last night, and the story for the Buccaneers all year long has been injuries, and they had yet another injury, Baker Mayfield, according to Adam Schefter, and then according to an MRI. The Buccaneers believe that Baker Mayfield suffered a sprained AC joint in his left shoulder. There was no fracture and no structural damage. One source said the Buccaneers are, quote, not ruling out Mayfield for Sunday's game against the Cardinals, but today's MRI will tell more. So there you go.
I've
the
separated my
Buccaneers.
AC joint.
Yeah, it's bad. It keeps happening to a variety of different NFL quarterbacks as well. And if it's on your non-throwing shoulder, like, you could probably deal with it. If it's on your throwing shoulder, you're in big, big, big trouble. Thank you, Matt, for texting in the Turnpike Troubadours.
Thank you, Matt.
The Turnpike Troubadours. Matt McMaster, send me that. Also, Stibbs says, I love the Oklahoma Choma. Oklahoma Choma sounds like an early Kings of Leon song.
Going on down to the Oklahoma Choma.
The Oklahoma Choma. Indeed. All right, so there's your big old breaking news for the segment. The Blue Jays have arrived here at the arena. Many folks starting to get out on the court and get some early work going for Creighton and Baylor. Creighton and Baylor meeting for the seven. I believe it's the in the seventh different. I have the stats somewhere. It's seventh different city that these two teams have met in over the years. Most recently, a couple of years ago in Denver in the round of 32. And that's when John Bishop said, slow it up. And they did not slow it up, Josh. They did not slow it up. They were able to win that game by several points on their way to the Sweet 16. And then eventually on their way to the Elite Eight. I saw speaking of the Elite Eight and that horrible result of that horrible game, I wonder, because I saw Brian Dutcher yesterday, the head coach of San Diego State, and I wondered if him and Mac, kind of walk by each other and, when they see each other out, do they just kind of look at each other and,
do they acknowledge each other from across the room?
Because you know that both of them are thinking about it. Both of them are thinking about Ryan Emhart not fouling that guy, going up and Creighton being just 1 second away from its first ever Final Four appearance, but not to be. All right, we'll take a break. We got one more segment here before we get to Matt Rhule's press conference. Things starting to get closer and closer to the end of our show today.
We just started.
I know, we just started, but it's almost over, Josh. It's getting late early, as I say. Back after this on 1620 The Zone.
does it the only way he knows how. With his massive sports brain sprinkled with a smidgen of rabble-rousing. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Excuse me, Connor Happer and Josh Odson with you. Yeah, we are running a little bit ahead of schedule today. That's why you might hear some things that would normally happen at the top of the hour. The clock is the clock. The clock is just an object today, Josh.
Yeah. It floats.
It's just a thing.
It ebbs and flows. We're like a river today.
My dear friend John Bishop has delivered me
Whoa.
a burrito.
Hello.
Look at that.
That's a friend.
Would you like to see the inside?
Yeah, I would.
I think it's bacon.
Okay, it's a breakfast burrito. Yeah,
it's a breakfast burrito. It's 9:30
in the morning there.
I know. It's so odd. It's so odd. John is having his pregame chat with Greg McDermott. Right now, the Blue Jays and the Bears are on the floor. They will play each other in about an hour and a half. And, of course, the broadcast takes over these very airwaves at 12:30 Central, which would be 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. By the way, just a quick note before we get into all this stuff. So Matt Rhule is going to talk in 15 minutes, in about 15 minutes. We will take that press conference live. If he, for whatever reason, goes past about 12:25 Central time, if we get to that point and he's still going, we'll have to cut him off because we do have to get to Creighton basketball. So we'll get that break.
Hard out.
We got a hard out. We'll get that break in before then. John and I will hit the airwaves at 12:30 Central time, no matter what. So that's just that's how things will be going over about the next hour. Stibbs writes in. He says, "Take a bite," but Brandon says, "Yay, online eating again."
Oh no!
What do we do? What do we do? I do.
I thought he was gonna. Careful. Corn dog adjacent photo here.
It is. It's another oddly shaped food. That is. You
know what kinds of foods are oddly shaped? The best kind.
The best kinds of foods. By the way, we got a comment earlier from. Where is it? It is. Oh yes, Hokisker. Whoa! Did I lose internet? Did I lose internet or something like that?
You froze visually, but we can hear you just fine.
Okay, that's good. We're on the tie line. Hokisker writes in on YouTube, I wonder if 1620 the J Rizzler will recognize that it's Iowa Hate Week.
Been talking about it off and on throughout the day.
By the way, 1620 the J Rizzler is, I don't know, that's a little wordy for me. Mm-hmm. But, we do what we can do. Yeah, I mean, it's haven't we talked about this? It is a huge game on Friday. Nebraska 100% needs to win that game. And I think what's happened, I definitely lost. Something happened to the players era Wi-Fi here. Hopefully, it doesn't knock us out from an Ethernet situation. But Nebraska needs to win the game. And I think one of the things where people kind of emotionally hedge a little bit is, they just got done watching on Friday, on Saturday, Penn State bludgeoning Nebraska the same way that Penn State, or the same way that Iowa is going to want to do it on Friday to Nebraska. And they were like, does Nebraska have a chance? Do they even have a chance in this game? 100% yes. 100% yes, they do. I mean, if we thought that Nebraska had a chance in that Penn State game, which I did, I mean, I think there was a lot of people going back afterwards and dunking on the fact that, I or anybody else thought that was too many points that Penn State was getting spotted, or that Nebraska was getting spotted the other night. I still believe that. I think if Nebraska, is able to get a better start in that game, bring a little bit more edge to the party and stuff like that. Like, that game did not have to be a blowout. But make no mistake about it, if Nebraska plays like they did on Saturday, this Friday against Iowa, the same bleep will happen. The same thing will happen. They will run all over you, and you have to be physical and tough and all those things. They might not be quite as explosive on offense. But make no mistake about it, Nebraska's defense has got to tackle, and they have to find a way to get in these running lanes, and not just be in the running lanes, like stay tough and tackle and all those things, because their two running backs are pretty solid. At the very least, their offensive line, is very good. Their backs, Moulton and Patterson, were good, and then Gronowski obviously is a runner as well. So yes, we have talked about that, and I don't think we've actually undershot it or undersold it on how big of a game this is, how significant of a game this is. D'Lo writes in,
Hi,
by the way, not only do they have a chance, it's a game they have to win. It would go miles for Rhule, wouldn't it?
It would behoove you to win.
It would take Matt Rhule a long way if they were to win this game, just with the feeling and beating Iowa for the first time and 8-4 instead of 7-5. Like, all that stuff just screams progress. And maybe the progress hasn't been exactly what people expected it to be this year, or whatever it might be. You haven't seen it as much, but if you're 8-4 and you have a win over Iowa and you're going to a better bowl game than they are, and find a way to get a tough physical win against your biggest rival that you have so much problem beating. Nebraska hasn't beaten Iowa at home since 2011, or so I think it's 20. I want to say it's 2011.
Yikes.
I believe it's that at this point. Yes. That would be 100% progress.
And I know Matt isn't listening because he's getting ready for the press conference. Matt Rhule, but I know he has people that do listen and give him the narratives.
Whoa, you want to say something,
Matt? Tell Archie, don't kick it to Caden Weegan. Don't just kick it out of bounds.
What are they doing?
He will run it back to you on you.
What is anyone doing? Why do they keep doing that? Just kick it out of bounds, man.
Just kick it the other wherever he's standing. You gotta go somewhere else.
Unfortunately for Archie, I don't think he really understands the rules of football yet, because you can't hit dudes when they're 2 yards out of bounds and they're obviously giving themselves up. But maybe you could, he's like Pakaitis on semi-pro. Just say, stand here, do this. Basically, just Archie, just kick the football not near that guy, number 21 or whatever he is.
Yeah.
Don't kick it near him, and that's literally your only job today.
I understand. You're a competitor. You're thinking, my guy's got me. We can do this. No, you cannot.
Gee, dang it, Pakaitis. That's what you're doing. Archie is Greg Pakaitis on I think it's Greg, right? Or something. Maybe it's not. It's Pakaitis from Semi-Pro on Friday. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll get out of the way for Matt Rhule and his Monday press conference, and then immediately to follow, it'll be Creighton and Baylor right here on 1620 The Zone, and also over on 1019 The Keg. John and I will be here from Vegas. Tip-off is at 1 o'clock. We'll be right back after this on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But first, football season is in full swing, and however you like to get on the action, you could do it on Underdog right now in Nebraska. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win, or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Plus, with Underdog's ultra-fast payouts, you can get your profits in a snap. Download the app today. Use promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For Crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing good terms_DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Available for every Blue Jay home game, including Kansas State and the entire Big East schedule. Get your tickets today by visiting Ticketmaster.com or by calling the Creighton Ticket Office at 402-280-JAYS. And that's your Creighton Sports Update powered by Monster Tree Service.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Husker Review Monday is powered by McInnes Roofing and Sheet Metal. Looking for trusted experts to protect and enhance your home or business? We are McInnes, Nebraska and Iowa's go-to choice since 1981. For commercial or residential projects, trust McInnes Roofing and Sheet Metal. Visit McInnesInc.com today.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
Kids don't like to miss out, and neither do you. When sore throats, ear infections, or sinus trouble put you on the sideline, trust the experts at Boys Town Ear, Nose, and Throat. With specialized care for the whole family and quick and friendly scheduling, you won't miss a thing. Boys Town Ear, Nose, and Throat can get you back to life. Visit boystownhospital.org.
Bring home the magic of Christmas with a fresh-cut tree from Lanahaw. Fragrant evergreens, twinkling lights, and holiday decor are waiting to find their way to your home for the holidays. Shop our unique Christmas selection at Lanahaw's Garden Center, 192nd and West Center Road.
Hey, it's Ashley from Saul's. This holiday, Saul's is the place to stretch your budget and give amazing designer gifts for up to half off retail. We're also buying your luxury brand items to help you freshen up your style this holiday season. Designer gifts for less at Saul's.
The best offers of the season are happening now at Woodhouse Chevy. Explore our full lineup and view our incredible end-of-year offers happening now. Shop online or in-store at our locations in Omaha and Missouri Valley. Woodhouse Chevy. Together, let's drive.
I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
The Zone Hotline is powered by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more.
From a towering poinsettia tree to the whir and whistle of model garden drains, Lauritsen Gardens makes your holiday season merry and bright. To create memories with your family and delight in the joys of nature this season, purchase your timed tickets at lauritsengardens.org.
Before we get you to Creighton basketball and before we get you to Matt Rhule's Monday press conference, a reminder about Omaha basketball. The Mavs return home on Saturday to face Mid-America Christian at Baxter at 7 o'clock, and we'll have tickets for you this week, so stay tuned for opportunities to get into the Mavs game on Saturday. Speaking of Mavs basketball players, just a few feet away from former Mav J.J. White, who is in a role situation, a role player situation for Baylor this year. And he's Baylor's not playing very many guys, but he is one of the guys that they have played so far this year. So J.J. White out here. And Omaha men's basketball, of course, back at the Baxter on Saturday. So we are awaiting Matt Rhule's Monday press conference. Josh, since I'm not exactly tied in with everything that's going on, you just break over, or sounds. Maybe we could maybe we could get the victory bell that Matt Rhule had to yell over on Saturday night. Whenever that starts, you just you go ahead and just do whatever you got to do.
Will do.
We're also keeping tabs on the MLV draft. Have you seen this?
I have seen this, yes.
So Creighton's Ava Martin went in the first round, second overall pick by the Atlanta Vibe That is the Big East Player of the Year, and Creighton went undefeated in the conference this year, through the conference tournament undefeated, and will likely be hosting first-round games at DJ Sokol Arena here in just a couple weeks for the NCAA tournament. And Kiara Reinhart goes 8th overall to the Omaha Supernovas. Look at that. She mentioned a couple weeks ago that she wasn't sure, if she was going to like continue on with her volleyball career and kind of what she was going to do. Decided to come back another year at Creighton. That would be this year, her extra year, and now can make a professional career out of it. So that's pretty cool. She'll be good at whatever she does, but she can play a little professional volleyball as well. So that's cool. Congrats to a couple Blue Jays for going in the first round of the draft. The 3rd overall pick, by the way, was former Nebraska volleyballer Hayden Kubik, who she was at Tennessee, I believe, this year. We got Nebraska connections all over the place in the Major League Volleyball draft.
The state runs that league.
Josh, we haven't. This is I think a great segue into Matt Rhule coming up. We haven't really talked to you much today. How was your weekend? Did you do anything this weekend?
I statted a football game.
Yeah. How did that go?
Did 64-13. Iowa Western wins.
This is why I asked you. By the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 64-13.
Yeah, playoff bound.
I get a text from you during the game. It said Booth Cam is back.
That's right.
Which means Iowa Western's going to the playoff.
That's right.
And there will be an opportunity to watch Josh stat a game on the internet, which is what I'm mostly excited about.
And react without making any sounds.
Always fun.
Touchdown wows. There were a lot of touchdown wows.
Touchdown wow! Yep. Awesome. Can't wait. Josh goes like this. We should get booth cam on me and John today. Although it's a little bit, we're probably 40, 50 feet off the court here and a little bit up. It's a little bit more sterile and from the position that we're at today. I wonder how many people, I hadn't really thought about this until this very moment. How many people will be here at this basketball game today? I genuinely have no idea. Creighton
how many Jays fans have you seen at the hotel?
A lot,
Okay.
a lot. Creighton travels pretty deep for this. Baylor, I'm not so sure. I would imagine there's a good crowd for Iowa State and St. John's, which is next because Iowa State always they roll pretty deep. St.
Did
John's,
you see
maybe.
Chip and Joanna Gaines there this weekend?
I wouldn't know what they look like.
Okay.
Who are those people?
They're the
the house people.
Yeah. They're Baylor fans.
Ah, the Wacos,
Yes.
the Waco people. I haven't seen very many Baylor fans. The only Baylor people that I've seen is Baylor players and Scott Drew. I'm serious. I saw every Division I coach of note yesterday just walking aimlessly around a casino like I was. I even ran into Mac so the second time in a short period of time where I bumped into Mac just walking around yesterday. He was like, "What are you doing? Just walking around aimlessly?" And I'm like, "You got it." Exactly. What, do you have something to do, Mr. Important?
What are you doing? Just walking around.
That's literally what I said. I was like, yeah, you got it. You got it exactly right. I had a great sandwich yesterday.
You sent me a photo.
It was they're all the Italian meats. Not all the Italian meats are the same, Josh.
Correct.
Not all Italian meats look the same, but all the Italian meats kind of sound the same, and
That's
all
right.
the words kind of just get lost in my head.
They end in a
So
vowel.
I don't know what I ate yesterday, but it was a sandwich from Italy, and it was delicious. And a little a cacio e pepe ball, a fried ball of cacio e pepe.
Whoa.
How about that?
Okay.
You ever think about that?
I haven't. My wife loves that.
Poll question: do you ever think about a little ball of cacio e pepe? There you go.
Got to do
Put that one up. So that it was rice or a risotto or whatever, inside of a fried ball. I thought it was going to be like pasta that was going to be leaking out of there,
Mhm.
but no, it was rice. It was a little drier, I guess, than it wanted to be. But
That is
Baymont
up
says
at Happer's show.
there you go. Baymont says Connor had a cold cut trio. No, it was one. There was one kind of Italian meat on this sandwich, and the bread was focaccia, which I love focaccia. Holy focaccia! That's what I was saying yesterday. Careful, Connor Happer will get close to saying a bad word on the radio again.
That's right.
Stibbs writes in, you should be embarrassed as a New Yorker, Connor. I know what the words are. I just can't remember which one I had. Was it prosciutto? Was it? I don't know. I think it was prosciutto, to be completely honest with you. But it was great. Star Wars Fiend says, poll question, pasta leakage. I don't know how you make that into a poll question, but I like the idea of it anyway. So we're waiting on, as you can tell, we're stalling. We're waiting for Matt Rhule. You know, they said he would talking around 11:50 today. It is now 11:56, and we have not arrived at that moment yet. It does not seem like. So this pretty much guarantees that we will be cutting Matt Rhule short. I can only imagine the reaction when people say, why are you cutting Matt Rhule short? What's the point? And a pregame for a basketball game? Yes, a pregame for a basketball game, which we are contractually obligated to do. And you can go back and look at the Matt Rhule press conference whenever you'd like. But there's only one live pregame show from the Players Era Championship, brought to you by Geico, inside of Michelob Ultra Arena. And that is here on 1620 The Zone and on 1019 The Keg. Joseph says, Creighton Hawks, Creighton Homers. Well, when we're basically the Creighton Sports Network, that's kind of just what happens. I haven't heard Josh honk any horns yet, so
no.
He's
horns.
not talking.
No,
he's not talking at this point.
Okay, we got that little thing coming up.
Okay, that's good. We got a topic here from Sam. Topic alert from Sam. Create topics to fill time, like is Rhule running late because he took the Cal job? What a great question. Which job is Matt Rhule taking this week?
All right, we got him.
All right, off to Memorial Stadium we go. We will be ending this at 12:26 today to get over to Creighton basketball. Here is Matt Rhule from Memorial Stadium.
Practice today, so.
Let's get started and then turn it over to your questions.
Good to see everybody. Obviously, it's senior week for us. Short week. Got back late Sunday morning and had our first real practice, a true Tuesday practice today. So I thought the guys came out with great energy, optimism, and excitement about what lies ahead. The game will come quick Friday at 11, so we'll be excited to go try to play our best game. So with that, I'll see what questions you guys have.
With Thanksgiving being Thursday, the game being Friday, how does the week schedule change for you guys?
Yeah, we'll just do a normal week. We just move everything up a day. So on Thursday, Thanksgiving, that'll be like a traditional Friday for us, which is a walkthrough and meetings in the morning. We'll cut them loose for a little bit, and then bring them back to the hotel and do our normal hotel on Thursday night.
You guys obviously have 30-ish new players brought in from freshmen and transfers. Do you, throughout the year or this week, do any rivalry education or anything, just make sure the new guys know the importance of it?
I think a lot of that happens from peer to peer, player to player. I think they understand, just how much this game means to us. But I think more importantly than anything else, it's, to me, last year, it was a great honor to be able to send the seniors from last year out as winners, beating Wisconsin for the first time in 12 years or so. For this group, I think there's 19 seniors that we'll honor before the game, but half that class has been here the whole time. Some guys like Javen, I think this is like his third senior day or something, so they're vets at it. But I think more important than anything else is that we just, we want to show tremendous brotherhood and play really well for them. A lot of respect for the opponent. We know what it means to play them, but as much as anything else, it's us taking a step forward as a team and playing well for them.
I think there's a sense of bad blood between the two teams based on what happened last year, and the results, and what happened before the game.
I don't know how they feel about us. I respect any coach that's done what they've done as long as that. And I think all of us are just, we're focused on us right now. And at the end of the day, it's about trying to win a game, 2 years in a row. And I've watched them, kick a field goal to win it and walk off the field and, watch them celebrate and tell us, hey, have a Merry Christmas, because they knew we weren't going to a bowl. So to the victor belongs the spoils. I respect them. I respect the way they play. I respect their coaches. I respect Phil Parker more than probably any other coach in college football. So there's no bad blood for me, at least.
Why do you respect Parker that much?
Because he's done it at a high level versus everybody for that long. The rules in football are designed to let the offense score points. In college football, you can block down the field, and you can't even play man to coverage anymore because you can blindside people, and you can blindside people that are playing man. You can't do any of that stuff in the NFL, and yet Phil Parker just continues to play dominant level defense. Just a lot of respect for him.
How is their the Iowa offense? Is there similarities to Penn State? How do those compare?
They're very different. Iowa's, obviously, they're going back to coaches, time as an offensive line coach, probably one of the premier outside zone teams in football over the years. They've added a quarterback run element. I think it's the quarterback. He's got like seven passing touchdowns and 13 rushing touchdowns. I think he's accounted for like 20 of their touchdowns. He's done a very nice job. They've got 4 losses by a total of 15 points, though. I mean, they've played some elite level teams. They're a great team, and but yeah, they get to it in different ways.
Coach, in the big picture sense of what this game means, can you speak on just how important it is knowing what an 8-4 season would feel like versus 7-5, and just kind of when you speak on what you want this year 3 as far as the improvements you'd like to see in the program?
I like to win every game we play. For me, and it's why I love these seniors so much. And we came here with the intention of building a program that would, be built to last and not build on short-term results. That doesn't mean we don't want results. We desperately want results. But they've done a lot of things. I think they a lot of these guys were here when I got here. They were here at a fragile time with a fragile program, and they've been a part of building infrastructure. They've stood in the gap. They haven't panicked. They stayed here with us. And they've played a lot of good football. We're not where we want to be. We want to be national champions, right? So this is not a national championship season for us. But what a lot of people do nowadays is they just try to create super teams. They just run and try to go somewhere else, right? Like there was a day when we all went and played for our local high school, right? We played for the team we loved. And when I think of the Javen Wrights and those guys, like they've stood here and committed to being here. And then when I think of the guys who've transferred in, they've embraced our way of doing things. So yes, it would be a great, great, great step for us to win this game. But my focus is just purely on this game. And I can just tell you this, my focus has been on, every game each week. But for this week, I mean, we play Iowa every year. And so I have not yet, as the head coach here, produced a win. And so I'm focused on that.
With it being senior day this week, a lot of guys on the roster have gotten a lot of love for their performances on the field. Who are some of the guys who maybe haven't played a lot that are still important to the program for you?
I think, they're all important to the program. I mean, and I know that's not what you're saying, but I'm going to make sure I say that. Like, I've mentioned a lot about, I think I mentioned 2 weeks ago, Jalen Gramstad and the impact that he's had. People haven't said a lot about, maybe noticed a lot, but I think Michael Booker has played at such a high level on special teams that I think teams should take a look at him at the next level. I mean, of all of our guys from last year that went on, either had a chance in pro football, played for pro football, John Bullock's played the most snaps. I mean, John Bullock is, I don't know how he did this past weekend. I think he was at like at 8 tackles, which get to 12 tackles, you're almost a Pro Bowler, right? So I think Booker's had that type of season for us on special teams. Derek Branch, you've heard me talk about him a lot. I actually asked him to address the team this morning. Just he's someone, like I said, when he speaks, everyone listens, including me. And so, but there's a lot of guys like that. Turner Corcoran fighting to come back, Teddy Prohaska overcoming the injury. I mean, to say Dane Key to transfer in and to to transfer in and to become a captain here on 1 year is, to me, is amazing, right? Marl Watson Trent's going to play. He's going to play a 60th college football game on Friday, excuse me. So there's a lot of amazing stories and a lot of guys that I'm proud of. But most importantly, I think they've helped establish a program that I'm proud of, and that is relevant nationally and is relevant recruiting wise nationally. And it's the players who came before them, and it's them.
Given his NFL potential, does Emmett Johnson get honored this weekend? Or
No. Emmett will make whatever decision he makes after the fact. It would just be those 19 guys.
Does Malcolm Hartzell?
No.
You anticipate him coming back next season, or you would like him to?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, 100%. I love Malcolm. Would have loved to have Malcolm out there with us all year long. I mean, we play pretty good pass defense without Malcolm, So, but yeah, I mean, today's landscape, you never know what. But I think just the 19 guys who said, "Hey, can I go out there for senior day?" And we'll honor those guys.
Coach, I'm curious with the new recruiting rule changes. Do you like that you're not going to be on the road in December and the January 2nd portal date where you don't have to focus on all the recruiting and the portal stuff for once the Iowa game's over?
Yeah, we Saban on College Game Day, I think this past week, talked about the craziness, and I can just tell you that if you were in the Big Ten meetings, I was one of those guys standing on the table for May portal. I think like at some point these kids need to go somewhere and get an education and finish out the academic year, and leaving, and now you got guys announcing that they will be in the portal. I mean, just start something and finish something, right? Start about the coaching. Now you have mid-season coaching changes now as a result of this, and so Coach Saban said it so well, and I'm a proponent of what he said. So that being said, I do think it's great. Like it used to be, like we play this game and then we'd be on the road recruiting on Monday, and I don't know that if you can do justice to your team and bowl prep and all that while you're doing that. I think it's really good for players. You finish the season, the emotion of the season, the emotion of take a breath, take the month, figure out. Some schools don't know who their coach is, who their position coach is. And then, I guess it's now the decisions in January. So I do like the fact that we'll be around our team in December and we'll be able to find out what bowl we're going to and prepare for that bowl and put our heart and soul into that bowl game. And that bowl game will be vital for us. It's a way to develop a lot of young players. And I think one of the biggest things, one of the things I share with the team, Sean, is, you look at a lot of our guys, that are, playing their best football, and you look at like their journey and how crazy their journey has been. And, Javen Wright, how crazy his journey's been. You look at Deshaun, from a junior college player to senior day last year to a junior college injunction. He gets another year, to Emmett Johnson, and the way Emmett's bursting out. And so often in life, we feel the most pressure when we're right at the point of breakthrough. And then when you break through, you say, oh, and you forget about the pressure of it. So I see so many young players on our team. I see so many good young players on our team, and bowl prep is so important for them, where they can maybe try a new position or see themselves as a one and develop a little bit. So many guys panic and they take off and leave and transfer somewhere, or they just get depressed on themselves. And so I think bowl prep's a really smart time, good time. And so often what's happened in recent years is coaches aren't focused on it, because they're like, I think we did like 14 straight nights of dinner. Julie and I did 14 straight nights of dinner last year at Aragon, which is a great restaurant, and I love the people at Aragon, but it was like, just 14 straight nights of just hosting different people. And even then you're not doing a great job of talking to those people, right, and getting to know them. So, signing date will come, and that'll be cool. And then that allows us then in January to A, focus on the portal, and then B, go out and do some recruiting for the 27, 28 classes.
With the Penn State loss, just looking back at the game, were you surprised by the outcome and kind of how it transpired?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we thought we were prepared. I thought we were ready. I put that purely on me. I think a lot of our guys they really wanted to try to, I think which I did not ask them. I think they think we really wanted to play well. They wanted to win the game, probably for me in some ways, and I hate that for them. I wanted them to play free. And I think the first 8 plays on defense, we had a missed assignment. And so it's not, and I only say that, I'm pretty good about never throwing people under the bus. I'm not throwing them on the bus. My point to them was, you're way better than you played. And it's, what feels like an avalanche sometimes, you go back and look at it. It's 10-3 with 4 minutes left. I think it's with 4 minutes left in the half. And then you just had like we typically don't have kind of those collapses, right? We had like, what was a little bit of a collapse, right? They go down, they score, they have a scramble, big play, they score. We have a missed assignment, they get a touchdown. When I say missed assignment, missed execution, probably a better way of saying it. They kick the ball off to us. We have a mishap. We have a sack. And then we have a punt return that gets returned back, then a 15-yard penalty on the punter, and they score again. So all of a sudden, 10-3 becomes 23-3. So that being said, that game was over. I told the guys when we get on the plane thinking about next Friday. And if you're not all in, get on bus 6 and go sit in the back of the plane. If you're all in, go back to your seat and move forward, and I'll put this L on my chest. So this game coming up this Friday means the world to us. It means the world to me. And so last week was disappointing, but it is what it is.
I did have a question. Right before halftime, it looked like you guys were maybe going to set up that Hail Mary that you had against Michigan, but you went with that inside screen instead. What was the thought process behind trying that play versus the deep one?
Yeah, they lined up with like all out zero blitz, and it just didn't seem like, hey, let's get the ball's on the 45-yard line, so it's going to end up being like a 65-yard throw, and it was like, hey, why get him hit here when I'm not even sure that we can get the play, off. Now he can get the ball in the end zone, don't get me wrong, but they were going to come after us. It was fourth down. We didn't want to punt it. They've got 3 block punts. So we just said, hey, let's put the ball in Jacory's hands. I remember way back when Lou Holtz years ago threw a tunnel screen and in that same situation got a block and the guy went down and scored. So, but we had to run a play to get the clock to go to zeros. And as you saw with that, if they were going to come try to block it, they were going to try to beat us. So they were going to come after us. So, but yeah, it was just that.
What stood out about TJ and how he takes teaching moments from these games, and also the challenge specifically for a quarterback against Phil Parker's defense?
This is the one defense in the Big Ten that holds everyone under their scoring average, consistently. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of relief. There's no mercy. Like, they're doubling people. They're playing 2-man. They're challenging you. They got a great defensive line. There's a lot of things there. I thought, you go to Beaver Stadium, you're in silent cadence. That's hard for a quarterback. All his motion shifts. Mentally, I thought he was elite. He didn't make the catastrophic mistake. Even on the sack at the 1-yard line, I think I said to you guys the other day, that ball doesn't hit the ground. We're still able to punt it away. He moved the offense. We just didn't score enough touchdowns in the red zones. And once we got behind, then not collecting points and kicking field goals. You're having to go for it. But I think the biggest thing was he was trying to run guys over, and I think his teammates saw that for a young guy, and he wasn't intimidated. He wasn't 33. He's a great player for Penn State. Came off the edge. He made a miss and ran for a touchdown. So, every day that TJ gets is another day for him to grow, and I think he grew in that game. I think his teammates saw that when bad things happened, he didn't let it affect him. He just wanted to keep playing. And he wanted to play to the very end of the game. I'd say the same thing about Jacory Barney. The guy had 5 catches. He had returned punts. He returned kicks. He made a tackle on the fake punt. There's a lot of guys out there like Sierra Wright played to the end of the game. So you can't control the score. You can't control what you look like on tape. And I thought TJ did that to the best of his ability. And I'm excited for him. This will be his first start in Memorial Stadium when you think about it, And so, but yeah, it'll be a tremendous challenge. And but I just know after seeing him in last week's game, he'll be excited for it.
Week. Do you take anything that you learned from maybe the Minnesota week to apply to this, whether it's structurally with practice or messaging or anything like that?
Yeah, we're practicing a little bit differently in that, plus it's an 11 o'clock game this week, so that's certainly different. But we just, we had to just kind of accelerate our process a little bit this week. And so we had the bye week 2 weeks ago. We spent a couple of days in Iowa as coaches to get ahead. But, I don't think we lost to Minnesota because of the schedule. And I'm the first person to always be hard on myself. I think I've talked a lot about, just sort of what I think we did wrong there. And also I think Minnesota's a good team. But I think for us this week, the guys, they knew they got back. That's why I was probably short with you guys in the press conference, not in a disrespectful way. Hopefully I was like, let's get on this plane and get home. We got home. Said we're going to get home at 3. We got home at 2. That's an extra hour. Go to bed. I don't know how many of our guys are in bed by 2 after a game anyway. So it was kind of a little bit better. And then they'll just have to grind through this week. And the messaging doesn't change a lot for us each week. I always encourage them to prepare at the highest level they can, get to the game and attack and play as a team. And even in the midst of a bad loss like last week, I thought they certainly played as a team. Like I think I said after the game, no one was throwing helmets, pointing fingers, any of that stuff. And so that allows us this week to enter there and go out there and try to celebrate each other.
How do you approach special teams preparations this week when they have such a dangerous return?
Yeah, that's why we hired. I told this is why we hired Eck. I mean, when I interviewed Eck, I didn't interview him talking about what does so and so do. I mean, LeVar Woods is a great special teams coordinator, and I interviewed LeVar Woods in the National Football League. That's how good of a coach he is. And so, 21's an amazing player. He's ridiculously fast, and that's the one thing that you see. Obviously, we've played against him before, but you see against Michigan State, he's fearless and he's fast. We have a good returner too in Jacory. So our guys have to play their best football. There is no coaching trick against Iowa. Like there is no hey, guys, we got him on this. Oh, guys, there's a hole in Phil Parker's defense. Or guys, hey, here's how I can get it. You guys are gonna have to play well. And so, and it's certainly the same for special teams. They're sound, they're well coached, and they're completely bought into it. And the example I make to our guys in terms of just mindset is, I don't know how long coach has been there. Is it 19 years? 19? How long is coach? Yeah, 27 years. My gracious! We're trying to finish out year 3 and with the same messaging. And my point was hey, when the TJ Latif and Dawson Merritt and Isaiah Moses who sit in the back, when they're at the front, what will they be saying to the guys in the back? And then when those guys you think about how they've been doing it at Iowa for that long. It's when you ask me why I respect them so much, it's that it's the fact that they've won this way. I mean, if we could ever change this game to the second game of the year and we could play a California team this week, it'd be snowing on Friday. I'd love it because, I study what they do. They just are built to win in this environment, and a lot of respect. So, but I think special teams certainly is at the fore. I mean, what they did in the return game against Michigan State was fantastic.
So, what can you say about Turner Corcoran? He's been through multiple head coaches, different coordinators, changed positions along the line, injuries. He's been through quite a bit.
And I'll just say this. I thought he played one of his best games last week. He was on an island all day versus good rushers and maybe give up a pressure here. I think it was a late sack, but, we run, we weren't able to just line up and just kind of run the football and play the way we want to play because of the score. I think he's one of the best humans and the best teammates I've ever been around. I mean, his injury was pretty tough last year. And there were times in the summer it was should I rehab it? Should I have surgery on it? I'm sure in his mind, should I retire from football? And to come back and then start the year is hey, you're just the jumbo tight end right now. He came back a month or two earlier than he was supposed to. And I was hey, you're just the jumbo tight end right now. And, become a starter and play at left tackle, play at right tackle, and play well. Really, really grateful for him, and I hope when he leaves here, he says he has a good experience. It'll be funny. In the next month, people start saying as the portal comes open, hey, coach, we think this guy's gonna make it. And these are the stories. This is why I coach for those kind of guys, man. For the guys who are so unbelievably grateful, and he shows his gratitude through his actions. And I know Turner will go on to a really successful life, and he's left this place better than he found it.
Knowing that it's a short week and all those things, you guys put more preparation time into when you get to this week. You guys already have the plan set, and the fact that it's always going to be the same team. Is there a mindset that you guys prepare before, say, Monday of okay, when it's Iowa week, we already know how we're going to proceed?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's in the old Big Ten West days, you could kind of do that a little bit more. Now it's who we play, and who's the coach now. But this is the one constant, and so now it's our third year doing it. Now, obviously, we have 3 new coordinators, but it's our 1 year doing it. And obviously, Coach Eckler coached against them in the bowl game, I think 3 years ago when he was at Tennessee. With that being said, I'll reiterate, there's not a lot of hey, this is the scheme that gets them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just it's just unbelievably sound football played by really good players who are really well developed. And so, you just our players have to play really well. And so, but, like I said, we prepare for them in the off season. We think about it in the off season. We talk about it in the off season. We do it in the bye week. And it has to come to fruition on Friday, but it's our players. Our players this Friday, they have to do it. And I told them, I said, I can't do it for you. I don't have like a secret code for versus these guys. You're going to have to go out and you're going to have to play well. And it's on them. And that's how they should run it.
There's probably 140 plays in that game last year. I'd estimate you guys probably won 120 of them, and they still found a way to win the game. Is limiting that one big play that Iowa can make kind of a key to trying to.
Yeah, but I would say I think the one thing is that the way they've designed themselves is that they're like I think one of their superpowers is that they're so comfortable in the close games. And I think historically our team, now I don't think it's that way anymore, but our team has been uncomfortable in close games. Whereas we're all sitting on the edge of our seats like, when's it? They just are ready to go play. And then, then the quarterback pulls the ball against Penn State and runs for a touchdown and they win the game. So they're designed, right? Like they're designed to win the fourth quarter. The coach takes the ball so he can have the win in the fourth quarter. They're going to run the football. They're going to milk the clock. They're going to pump the ball in 4th and 1. They're going to do all these things because they want to win the war of attrition and beat you in the fourth quarter. And so, every day that nothing we do today is going to matter on Friday as much as like every day that we've lifted, every day that we've eaten, trying to go from a bad football program to a program that can compete against them is important. And then you have to go make plays. I mean, last year they threw the ball on a swing screen, 3 blockers out there, and 5 guys missed the tackle, and he ran for a touchdown. And that's one play. And then the defense was probably frustrated, and offensively, you have a couple, you have a couple opportunities to score touchdowns, and you got to score them. So, and that, again, that's why I'm excited for our guys, because the one thing I've always wanted our guys to understand is that they control winning. Like even my point this week, all the questions I get asked are like, are we playing too much 3 down or 4 down or 5? And my point is like to our guys is like, look at the tape, guys. What does it say? It says, well, did you do what you're supposed to? No, you didn't do it. I need 11 guys to do their job, get off blocks and make tackles. I don't care what the defense is. We're top 25 in defense at Temple in a 4 down. We were top 25 in Baylor playing 3 down. We were top 5 in the NFL playing 5 down. Like, it doesn't matter. Good players make plays. And so I want our guys to feel, and that's not like it's on you in a bad way. I want them to feel like, hey, it's on me and I'm going to go make the plays. And so I thought we were a little tight last week, as I said, and we were probably tight the first 2 years, but at least like 2 years ago. And I want us to go play free. And I have the utmost respect for them. But they will be free because this is how they play. And it's what we've been trying to build to. And so we'll see where we're at. To Sean's point, if we were to win the football game on Friday, it'd be a heck of a step for us. But no matter what, we know where we're headed and what direction we're going. And it's time for us to go out and make the plays to win this game versus Iowa. Good. I just say one more thing, if I could. I just want to make sure, whether it's Nick Maestas at Muchachos, what he's doing, or anybody else in the community, just really grateful for the amount of people doing things to help people that don't have food and food insecurity and all that stuff. And so, I know our team is doing some things. Julie and I are doing some things, and we're not going to make it real public because it was like what is me, but I just think there's some really cool people in the Lincoln and Omaha communities and in small towns that are helping other people. And so, I went over and filmed something with Nick the other day for the podcast. I don't follow the podcast too much because I'm busy, but I don't know if it's been released or not, but like literally he's feeding people. And as we're filming and on a closed day, there's people with like kids coming up and it's closed trying to get something to eat. And so, I've encouraged our team, like I said, it doesn't have to be something big, but just go feed one person. I think that's way bigger than football. So, congratulations to the state championship teams that are out here tonight. And my hometown of Waverly's in it tonight. Though I'm not rooting for them because I don't want to root against anybody, but Waverly's in it. Know that.
There he is, head coach Matt Rhule, almost as if he knew we had a hard out. We want to send you back to Vegas. John Bishop, Connor Happer will be calling the Players Era Festival from the Michelob Ultra Arena. Creighton squares off with Baylor in a matter of minutes, about 5 minutes away from that pregame. So Connor and John will they'll call that game. They'll do the usual post game. No overtime today. We'll bring you right to unsportsmanlike conduct as quick as possible. We'll have that Monday Night Football game for you as well. Carolina Panthers playing for the division lead on Monday Night Football against the San Francisco 49ers tonight. Connor Happer back in Vegas tomorrow. We'll do the show from Vegas. It'll again be a show that goes until 12:30 as Creighton plays Iowa State tomorrow, same time, same place. We won't have Matt Rhule interrupting our show, but I'm sure we will talk a lot about Matt Rhule on tomorrow's show. So for all of us here in the Zone studio, it's just me, producer Josh Odson. We will throw it to the Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas for the Players Era Festival. Creighton Blue Jays, Baylor Bears taking on each other in yet again a different city. Connor said it's been like 7 cities between those two teams. So John Bishop, Connor Happer, coming up next right here on 1620 The Zone.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and